Hey, Rachel. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Thursday, October 31st.
Yay!
Wow. Can you believe we're at the end of October?
It's flying. I think the good
Yeah,
weather has made it go so fast,
I know. I
you
know.
know?
I agree. Yeah, I agree. And Rachel, I just have to take a deep breath right now. Hold it for a second and then breathe out. Maybe I'm going to do that again because I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, doing some errands before this, rushing too fast. I was in my little car. I had a little voice say, "Be extra careful." Okay,
Mm.
I ignored that little voice and I backed up into somebody's big, gigantic dumpster.
Oh, how's your little
It,
car?
my, my car is here, the dumpster is here, and for some reason it was like a magnet. So I didn't hurt the dumpster, by the way.
Right. That's
Dumpster
how it goes, right?
not hurt.
Mhm.
My little car though, it's a Honda Fit. I love the car, Honda Fit, because we're Oregon Weight and Wellness. We want to be fit.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not so cute because it's crunched, but not bad though. It's the light plastic light thing. I
Mm.
cracked it. So, all right. So I'm taking a deep breath, and I think it's appropriate for a deep breath. Slow down,
Mhm.
and because things are ramping up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we wanna talk about today as part of
Mhm.
our continued diet and lifestyle series.
Mhm.
We've started a subtopic of election health,
Mhm.
knowing that last month, this month, and potentially into next month, we don't really know what it's going to look like, and it tends to cause a lot of anxiety and stress for
Mhm.
everyone involved, which means everyone who lives in the U.S. and maybe elsewhere. So it doesn't have to be that way, though. We talked about that last week and the week before, like um, what you get to choose by what you put out there, but also by what you take in. And so today we wanted to talk specifically about tapping into the parasympathetic nervous system.
Mm.
So that's more of that rest, calm, relaxed. It's the state that we are in when we are digesting and
Mhm.
sleeping, right? The
Mhm.
sympathetic is more of the stress and go go go, hurry rush. It's not always bad, but it's
Mhm.
definitely the go 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 and the where the cortisol is maybe kicking in. So we want
Mhm.
to talk about this parasympathetic side,
Yeah.
and even just the breathing you did can it's like a light switch. We can do things to kind of like click, like pop us over
Mhm.
into that side. So what is it that you feel physically and mentally when you take those breaths? What do you
Mhm.
notice in your body?
Yeah. I notice that my heart rate slows. I can feel it. I can feel my heart. Um, certainly if I took my pulse or, but I
Mm,
can feel that heart rate just slowing down. And
mhm.
I kind of imagine, and then I do feel a sense of calm, coming over, my body.
Mhm.
And so we practice breathing before we eat, right? That's one of the exercises that we do. And so, um, maybe I need to, maybe I need to breathe before I start my car. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, not a bad idea. If we wanna be mindful, present, safe, um, and, typically when we're getting in our car, we're taking everything with us that just happened, and we're
Mhm,
rushing to the next thing. So,
mhm,
it's the same idea, right? If you wanna be mindful when you eat and aware and enjoy it and be with pleasure with food, then we breathe to switch to
mhm,
the parasympathetic.
mhm. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a I've never really thought of that. I've never put
Mhm,
that into my practice, but I love
mhm,
the concept.
mhm.
Slow down, even with driving.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
So, yeah. So I can feel that in my
mhm,
body as I'm breathing. And especially through the nose is really, I think, taking that, inhaling anyway through the nose is really important. Physiologically, what's happening is that you're creating more nitric oxide, and nitric oxide is a signaling molecule. Actually, it helps insulin work better in the cells, it makes it more efficient, so your blood sugar stays more stable. It actually it's a signaling molecule for your little baby stem cells that are undifferentiated. They don't know what they're going to be yet. So they might be a liver cell. They might be a muscle cell. But the nitric oxide tells them where to go and what to be and where the healing needs to happen. So that's pretty cool. And then the third thing is that nitric oxide, it probably does more than this, but what I know is that it also acts as a vasodilator, right? And so when you're deep breathing and concentrating on slowing your breath and breathing through your nose, you're creating the ability for your heart rate to go down and your blood pressure to lower your blood pressure. As a matter of fact, sometimes when I have people come in, they rushed here and they're sitting in the chair, and I wait for 5 minutes at least, or maybe I take their blood pressure at the end of the appointment so that they can have time to rest, breathe, and that's more accurate. So breathing during this time, right? We're ramping up to next Tuesday.
And I love how you just connected a lot of value to the breathing over and above just the flippant breathe. It's better for your stress. Take a deep breath, right? We know this stuff, but so often, especially in coaching, when we can add value and add a belief system and like a value, kind of like almost like a dollar amount, like, oh, why is this value to me? Valuable. And when someone can attach value to a goal or an action or an activity that they want to do or not want to do, suddenly it rises in priority. Because now I'm thinking about breathing in a whole new way. I'm thinking about the physiologic things it's doing, and I value those things. I want more of that. So it's not just, sometimes it's not enough to just say, I want to decrease my stress. So breathe. Sometimes we don't make the full value connection. And so when it raises in value and when it raises in value, it raises in priority, and then it becomes more of a go-to. So I really appreciate those connections and the value you added to it.
Yeah. Another thing I was thinking of is really doubling down maybe on our sleep routine, or our bedtime like ritual, because we might be more prone to just getting a little bit more news, or one more YouTube, or one more what this person had to say, or one more what that person had to say. And then we're going to rob ourselves from our ritual or our bedtime routine, whatever you want to call that. And then also that quality sleep. Yeah.
Which just sets us up for less capacity, higher stress, and less peace the next day. So you not only, you're robbing yourself from today and tomorrow. And I love when I think about my sleep routine as like I don't know, don't steal from this. This is mine, and I'm telling myself that.
You're protecting it
from this. This is really valuable. I don't want anything to take away from this that's not necessary. So, and again, when it raises in value, what it does for you, what you really want, suddenly we can become kind of protective, right? Draw some boundaries. And, while a lot of people don't like the concept of a rule, or like you have to, or you must, or you whatever, it can sometimes be helpful to set some stronger language when we set parameters or boundaries around things like sleep. I will not engage in news or social media after put in time, right? A couple hours before bed. I will do kind of like, because what that sets is the mind on what we do want to do and what we don't want to do. a little bit more empowering when we plan it in that way.
Right, right. And if we don't set a constraint on some of these things,
Mhm.
it will be imposed. A constraint will eventually be imposed on us. I mean,
Mm,
right, that we don't maybe have control over as far
yeah,
as much control over as it's going to be harder to temper our emotions. It's going to be harder to make better choices. So if we start with our own
mhm,
self-imposed
yeah,
constraint or rule or rhythm,
mhm, mhm,
then we're not gonna then we're gonna be able to be more in control,
yeah.
you know, the
Yeah.
next day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this rule or rhythm, like you called it, right? It can be considered a practice, a rhythm,
Mhm,
a protocol.
mhm,
Sometimes I call them those things. Sometimes I do call it a rule because for me, sometimes that's a little bit more empowering. But whatever
mhm,
you call it, um, if it's life-giving, if it
mm,
if it gives me more of what I want, it's
right,
not a bad thing,
right,
right? It's not a rule that's
right,
like punitive or
right.
punishment. This is how I design for better life, right?
Yeah,
So to
right,
achieve and it's all about perception and
right.
the way that you view it. You can think of
Yeah.
a rule as bad or punitive, or you can think of it as life-giving.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. That's so good. It's like it adds, it gets
It's
you
additive.
yeah, it's
Mm.
additive. That's good.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was something else I was thinking about that. I can't remember, but it'll come back around. It'll
It'll come.
come back around.
So we've talked about sleep. We've talked about breathing.
Mhm.
What are some other ways we can flip the switch and tap into that parasympathetic?
Mhm.
What
Right. Well, people do yoga
Mhm,
and and of course the yoga probably focuses on breathing, but
mhm,
then there's a little bit more to
mhm.
that
Yeah, body work.
body
And
work.
any kind of body work,
Mm,
even weightlifting or exercise can be a form of that because you're getting your mind off of the stressor, you're breathing more, you're using
mhm,
your body, you're kinda touching into your body.
mhm,
Um, yeah, I think of and of course, massage. I think of, a warm bath. Anything that's
mm,
involved in your body will typically, help mitigate and release stress.
mhm. Yeah,
Mhm.
body work. I like
Body
that. I
work.
think, yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of remembering that from one of the books that we read,
Mhm.
Body Work, right?
Yeah.
Was that
Yeah,
Sleep Smarter? Sean
I love to
Stevenson.
call it that because it might have been in Sleep Smarter, yeah. The concept of body work encompasses a lot,
Yeah.
right? And so
Mhm,
it's that mind-body connection. What
mhm.
am I doing to better the physical body? What am I
Right.
doing to the physical
Yeah.
body?
Right,
Mhm.
yeah. So massage. Yeah, and still and getting outside and looking at a horizon,
Yeah.
is very helpful for re-engaging the parasympathetic nervous system
Mhm.
because we've been inside, most of us work inside all day with, with
Fake
not
light.
fake light. Yeah, okay, fake lighting. Yeah,
Fake
yeah,
light. Yeah,
artificial fake lighting. So
artificial light.
making sure just a little bit of time outside,
Mhm.
looking at a horizon, right? And and then getting some natural light. So I can see the horizon, the trees and the sky in from where I'm standing right now, but it's,
Mhm.
and that's good, but it's not the same thing as actually getting outside.
That's right.
And yeah.
Yeah, and one of the reasons is, the eye movement. They talk
Mhm.
about it mimics EMDR, which is a
Yeah,
therapy modality.
right. Yeah,
When our eyes are scanning horizon, it
right.
has a calming effect.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then and then actually we're also getting that, the good part of the UV spectrum,
Right.
which, stimulates that central retinal pathway and helps the melatonin production.
Mhm.
So it creates that sleep pressure, especially as we're getting it in the earlier part of the day, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
In the morning, and which helps us sleep better at night. So,
Mhm.
so yeah, there's so much physiology here.
Yeah.
A lot of times we go to the doctor, and the doctor says, A, B, C to do the A, this,
Yeah.
and but to your point, Rachel, it's just so helpful to know why
Mhm. Yeah.
and what the benefit is,
Mhm.
and then I can make a more informed decision.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I wanna do that because I see the value, just like you said,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
It's again, it's part of that values-based goal setting. And when you keep in mind the reasons you're doing things, as you talk yourself through it or prepare to do something, I'm going for my walk because, and then
Mhm.
add that to your mental thought process, or
Alright.
even or say that,
Yeah,
or when you're writing in your journal or
yeah.
you're planning the day, I'm doing this because of this. I'm doing this
Mhm.
because I value this because, right? And
Mhm.
it's a reminder, a constant reinforcement, and the more and more we reinforce the positive, our values, and
Mhm.
attach it to our goals, that's
Yeah.
all positive, right? That spirals us up that positive
Mhm.
pathway,
Mhm.
um, rather than something like, "Well, I have to go over my exercise now
Right,
because
exactly.
what I have to," or,
Yeah.
even linking it to losing weight. That's
Yeah.
not typically a motivating reason,
Right.
um, right? And, if I'm eating flax seeds because, they're good for me, well, that's not as motivating as they're full of fiber, they help, they're full of omega-3s, they add a little nutty flavor, they're a whole real food. Uh, that changes things, right?
Mhm.
That sounds more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Excellent.
yeah.
That's so good. Yeah. Um, so, yeah, that body work can really help
Mhm,
re-engage the parasympathetic nervous system. And I'm also, you mentioned journaling,
mhm.
journaling, prayer, meditation, any way I can get out, you know,
Yes.
my thoughts out on paper or, to my God, you know, it might be another person as long as that's not, we're not escalating.
Right. That needs to be a safe place
Yeah.
and with someone who, can just hear and
Yes.
listen,
Yeah.
because the last thing you need to do is have an argument or
Yeah.
confrontation.
Or commiserate and all of a sudden, yeah, 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 yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Right.
Good
That's
point.
not lowering
No.
stress.
That's right, that's right. And, I love the concept of a rage page. With journaling, I think oftentimes people think of, um, all of these beautiful, lofty languages and, "Oh, I might save this for my kids," and, "Oh, my gratitude journal," and that's great. And sometimes take a blank sheet of paper and rage, right? Get it out on paper,
Oh,
not
good.
to someone else or online or in a forum or on a, message. We all have anger. We all have things that feel unrighteous or terrible, and, um, we oftentimes don't have a place to feel it and experience it, but
Mhm.
writing it down can be a way to just
Mm,
get it out. And,
yeah.
I've read a lot of books that have encouraged, and I don't know how everybody feels about this, but use all the pretty language and not so pretty language that you feel in your heart and soul, right? Just say the things, and then you rip it up and you burn the paper and you
Right,
tear it,
right.
you
Yeah,
whatever, right? This doesn't go anywhere, and
right.
it's not who you are and true to what you are. It's just feelings,
Mhm.
just
Yes.
emotions
Yeah,
that sometimes need a little
yeah,
exit strategy.
yeah. Need a little exit strategy. That's right. You're getting it off your chest. Cathartic. It's cathartic.
Cathartic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
So good. Yeah. Well, these are some great ideas
Mhm,
about staying and, thinking ahead, you
mhm.
know, because, we don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. And so just to, but to stay calm and at peace with myself so I can be at peace with that person
Mm.
whoever comes in my whoever I meet next, if I'm at peace with myself, I can be at peace with that person. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so important. Yeah.
And we need a lot more peace in this
Yeah,
world. Yeah, and we can be that
definitely,
agent. We can be
definitely.
that agent.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Rachel, we're heading out for the weekend.
Ooh.
So, yeah, we're heading to Bend tomorrow. So then we're just gonna eat whatever's in our refrigerator or freezer. Yeah, and I
Right.
think I have some mahi tuna, and that's not tuna. It's fish. What kind of fish? But it's mahi mahi. Is that dolphin? I don't know.
I hope not.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it's tuna. I thought it was tuna. Well, I don't know.
Okay, it might be tuna. Anyway, mahi mahi. Maybe I
Yeah,
need to look that up. I'm gonna look it up. I feel
we're gonna
ignorant
ask
right
you to
now.
Google because
That's okay. I don't know everything. But
it does say
I'm
it's a fish.
it's a fish.
It's a common dolphin fish. It's a ray
Oh,
fin, but it
fish.
doesn't look like a dolphin.
Okay. It's a fish. Okay.
It's something. Okay,
All right.
there we
I
go.
have that in my freezer. I'm gonna have
Mhm.
fish and I have frozen cauliflower. I haven't said this to my husband, but I want to challenge my husband for the month of November, maybe into December,
Mm.
just eat out of our freezer. Have you ever done that?
Oh, yes. Mhm,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
mhm. Yeah.
and you don't
Yeah.
go to the grocery store, you just
Mhm.
eat what's in your fridge or freezer. Yeah,
Yep. In the pantry, we've got lots of
pantry, yeah.
beans and grains and things like that,
So,
and
no yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
I'm gonna
and
try that.
it can feel really good to clean some stuff out,
Mhm.
to get creative,
Yeah.
and it simplifies things too,
Yeah,
right? It's suddenly like, well, and it teaches you that you can eat this with this that maybe don't normally go together, but
right.
here we you know,
That's
it's
right.
okay.
Yeah, and then if it gets boring, then you look in your spice cupboard or herbs and think, "Oh, what else do I have in here that I could throw in there?" Yeah,
Yeah,
creative.
or you
Yeah,
ask
creative.
Google or something, you ask AI, "Hey, what do I make with this and this?"
Mhm.
See if it can come up with a recipe for you,
Yeah,
you know?
cool. How long you probably talked to us about that, but how long have you been able to go? Like
Oh, um well, certainly if we run out of produce, like greens and fresh fruits and vegetables, um, greens are a big one for us. We go through a
Mhm.
lot of fresh greens, so we will typically still go to the store for like just get some greens and some fresh fruit. But even then we can do frozen fruit and frozen vegetables.
Right, yeah.
Um, I don't know how long. That's a really good
Yeah, yeah.
question.
Okay, I'm gonna start a challenge.
Cool. Okay, I like
Yeah.
it.
Alright.
And just see how long you can go.
Mhm.
That got me curious.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. I
Um
got the problem is I got 2 freezers, so
Oh, yeah, we don't have that much in our freezer, so,
well, so there's a lot of variables involved here, so
yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
So
but
what's for dinner for you? Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like the idea I think it's a great concept, a great idea, and encourages people to kinda, like, get through your pantry, and then
Mhm.
it's a good chance to, like we always do spring cleaning, but what about fall cleaning? What if
Right, yeah.
some
Yeah.
yeah, some cleaning
Yeah.
out?
Mhm.
So for us tonight, we're going to a friend's house for a little Halloween.
Oh,
None of us
okay.
have any little kids anymore, so we're just gonna go play cards. And we every year though, since the kids were little, when we would get together for trick or treating, we would always start the evening off with soup. And we would bring a couple of different soups and we would have a big soup feed. So I'm gonna go to the store and get some fresh sourdough bread from our local bakery.
Mm.
And I'm gonna make a pumpkin chickpea butternut squash soup with
Ooh,
tofu ricotta.
wow.
I know. And
Wow.
it's made in the, Instant Pot, so I'm really excited about it. The ricotta is not in the Instant Pot, but the soup is made in the Instant Pot, so that's like, you know, that feels easier, and I can
Yeah.
bring it in the Instant Pot, but
Uh-huh.
it looks
Wow.
and it's got like a not curry, but it's got, coconut milk, it's got the creamy
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Sounds great.
Mhm.
I'd love to try it. All right. Well, yeah, Halloween, we live on a busy street and
Mhm.
I don't turn my lights on. I haven't bought any Halloween candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of a Halloween Scrooge, I guess. So,
You do live on a busy street, I think that would be very
yes.
tricky for
So I
kids.
don't, I wouldn't bring my kid on this street that I live
No.
on, but if a kid came to my door, you know what I have? I have a pencil for you. Here's a celery stick.
And then they're like, "Never mind, lady."
Yeah. Anyway, I just wonder.
I had a client the other day say something really great. She says for Halloween this year, she bought a big old bag of whatever, but it was things that she doesn't eat or isn't tempted by.
Oh,
So if
that's
you
fun.
want to buy candy and you're going to hand out candy, don't buy the stuff you like.
Yeah.
Buy the weird stuff like Twizzlers or whatever. Maybe you love Twizzlers, but a Twizzler could live in my house for 7 years, and I would never touch it. I don't care how desperate I got. I would
Yeah.
not touch it. So, buy the things that you just
That's
literally
a great,
could.
yeah,
Yeah.
good strategy. Okay. All
All
right.
right.
And here's my second tip. Okay.
Oh,
Your trick-or-treaters came, they left,
uh-huh.
you have extra candy,
Mhm.
throw it away.
Just throw it away.
Just throw it
Yeah.
away.
Or when
There
the
you
last kid comes, the whole thing in their bag. Bye. Turn your light off and close the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Done. Yeah.
Okay.
Or just don't buy so much, right? And when the
Right.
last candy's gone, turn the light out. Bye, guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I like these ideas. I hope you're
Okay.
finding good tips. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks so much
All
for
right.
watching.
Thanks.
See you later.
Bye-bye. Bye.